I think the difference between like just being out there online and then attending events is the trust factor is it's much like you gain the trust much faster when you see the person in real life. And doing business, like doing business, a big part of it, especially if you're partnering with someone, partnering with a different company, you know, trying to get someone to be your client, having that trust is kind of crucial. And that's the reason why, people say consistently post online so that you can build that trust. But in networking, in events, it's much faster, much easier to gain that trust.
One of the crucial ways for your business to survive, like so to survive, thrive, is to maintain a healthy network of connections. Like to maintain a healthy network. So it's either a network of individuals, a network of leads, a network of contacts that are crucial for your business to survive. And that's essentially where, you can't just do. Of course, some businesses can survive by Facebook, by doing advertising and such. But still, one of the best ways for you to get your business off the ground is to connect.
Hey everyone,
Welcome to Outsourcing and More with
Penny and
Francis. We're glad you're listening because we've got a lot to talk about. Business, tech, investments, business mobile apps, web platforms, and all the latest trends in the outsourcing industry and more.
we'll give you tips, insights, and strategies on how to navigate the world of entrepreneurship and the gig economy.
So if you own a business, whether it's big or small,
A brand new startup,
or you're part of the huge outsourcing community as a tech professional, a VA, or an employer,
better start subscribing because this is the podcast for you.
so let's start achieving more. Hello, once again, and welcome, welcome, one and all, to Outsourcing and More. And you are here with Francis.
And my name is Penny.
And today, we are talking about a topic that is not near and dear to our heart. Just to make a distinction.
I used to dread doing this. Like I used to
Yes.
dread doing this. So today we're actually talking about networking in events and what are
Yes.
our best tips when you're trying to network in events. And I say that I dread these moments. I used to. I used to dread these moments, these events.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I remember way back when, especially when I'm with you, I would just stick with you. I would never talk to anyone else and just kind of ride on to whoever you were talking to, and I would just smile.
Right.
And I don't know
Right.
why. I don't know why I
Wait, you
would
just say you
freeze.
just stuck to me. And if,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think I
like
got that. I
years,
don't think
years,
I
years
got that
ago.
impression.
Years ago. This was years
Right.
ago, not in
Right.
the past few years. Like because we've known each other for quite some time,
Yeah. 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 I
a
get that.
decade at this point. But yeah, I used to like just okay, and then smile, and then okay, kill them with a smile. Just smile.
You were resting on pretty.
And I don't know. It's um, and it's not like we're meeting. It's not like I was required to talk in English. We were even meeting like Filipinos, right? I don't even have to talk in
Yes.
English. I just have to talk in Filipino, and I still would freeze. Um, so I used to dread it. I
I,
don't think you've
okay.
ever had that experience. I do know you run out of social battery, but not like shy away.
I th- so my okay. Let's talk about the thing that you said that you dreaded. Networking events. I think it's more like events in general. Let's try to get to the topic of networking events a little bit. Events in general, they tire me out. Uh, and believe it or not, I used to be a wallflower.
You do?
Because
I
all
could
I
never
wanted
imagine
to,
you a wallflower.
I mean, when there's somebody to be a wallflower with, I suppose it's more like because the people that I used to go out with, they're very socially, they're social butterflies, and I
Mm.
felt all the time that I don't have anything to add to this conversation. All I
Oh,
wanted to
you
do
were
was like
that for me.
slink away. Yeah.
You were
Yes.
that for me.
Yeah. So it was more I think I had to grow into this person who could at least, and that was basically like one of my techniques before, which might be one of our main topics later. Is and I did tell other people about this, is that when there's a crowd and you have to be in the crowd, my one of my techniques was like make an impression and then leave.
And then, like
Yeah,
Cinderella.
like just, hi guys. Oh my gosh, what are you guys doing? Oh my god, what's that? It looks so good. Is that the new hairstyle? Oh my goodness. And then, oh wait, I just
They just
I think I
fade
learned to
away.
master that. I think I learned to master that, like for a good 10 minutes, like walk to two or three crowds and then just. But that's just like me at parties anyway. But you'll be
Uh,
surprised how effective it is in other
but
ways.
I think, and I know what you mean, because I think before that's how I used to also kind of do it. Like I cannot go into an event and like at the very start be shy or feel shy. It has to be, I have to be all out as soon as I step in. I have to be like this jolly me as soon as I step in, or else I'll just fade into the wall
Yeah. I
after.
can't let the there's a point where you have a mental conversation with yourself to not let the anxiety win.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it can be a crippling sort of anxiety wherein when you get there, as soon as you get there, all you want to do is get out. So yes, we both have that. We both had that very real fear of being in events and crowds, especially if you're, especially I feel like if it's the sort of crowd where you're out of your depth, right? When you're sort of out of your depth anyway. So I would say yes, but networking and its role in business growth now sort of puts into perspective, you're not just attending an event because it's fun, but because you have something that you need to get out of it. Like if you and you out there, if you're an entrepreneur or a salesperson or a businessman, looking to connect, if you, whether the goal is to grow and connect, to grow your business, secure more contacts, put out your business somewhere, or maybe just find connections. Networking is one of the most surefire ways for your business to grow. And what is it? I saw that, I really do have to thank Instagram for a lot of my like current life lessons. Where it's say if
The
you're a
reels.
C if yeah, the reels, yeah. Like if you're a CEO, your real job title is salesperson. Wait, no, you sent me that.
Yes,
You
if you're a
sent me that.
CEO. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
if you're a
was,
C
and it was kind of eye opening for me too. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say so. And the truth is, one of the crucial ways for your business to survive, like so to survive, thrive, is to maintain a healthy network of
Mm-hmm.
connections. Like to maintain a healthy network. So it's either a network of individuals, a network of leads, a network of contacts that are crucial for your business to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
essentially where you can't just do. I mean, of course, some businesses can survive by Facebook, by doing advertising and such. But still, one of the best ways for to get your business off the ground is to connect, right?
I think
So
the difference between like just being out there online and then attending events is the trust factor is it's much, like you gain the trust much faster when you've seen the person in real life.
yes, yeah,
And
which
doing
is weird.
business, like doing business, a big part of it, especially if you're partnering with someone, partnering with a different company, you
Mm,
know, trying to get someone to be your client,
yeah,
having that trust is kind of crucial. And that's
yeah,
the reason why, people say consistently post online so that you can build that trust. But in networking, in events, it's much faster, much easier to gain that trust.
yes, and more importantly, as soon as you can get somebody to in every little sense refer you, like
Yeah.
You know how easy it is to trust somebody when it's a close friend who introduces you. You know, when people
Yes.
start saying, "By the way, this is my friend. He's a really good this and that." You know, he's a really good graphic designer. You can see people's eyes light up and say, "He must be a good graphic designer." I mean, even though you're like you can't draw for, you know, I mean, you could try it as a social experiment. Like if you're trustworthy as a person, try bringing along a complete stranger, because I've seen this happen. You know, like
No.
with people who are really good with connecting people. I met somebody for the first time, for example, and this was like a story from years way back. So I was starting out as a hairstylist, and then you have this nice person just introduced me to the crowd. By the way, this is my friend Francis. I met him an hour ago. This is my friend Francis, my really good friend. Oh my God, it's really good hairstylist. Blah blah. You book him, huh? You book him. I was like, don't know me. But the conversation that happened after that was so different. Like people were like, "Oh my God, so what do you do?" Blah blah. And then you can see that their opinion of you was largely shaped by that
By the
amazing
person who, yeah,
introduction.
introduction. Hmm. Hmm.
Yes. I mean, short of having somebody introduce you that way, most of the time you really have yourself to, to deal with, like make that kind of impression with other people. I mean, I would never hesitate to put my name up for somebody that I really think is a good person, like a really good business lead, does
Hmm.
really good work. I would do the same thing now. But
Yeah.
that's not what we're talking about, is
I mean, and I mean, and we talk about, events and, being able to expand your business because you're expanding your network. But apart from that, expanding your network
expand your network because you're
through this,
expanding your
through,
business.
so we're talking about events, right? Like you're
Yeah.
expanding your network, and that's one way of expanding your business. But apart from that, expanding your network actually gives you that space to meet people who might be on the same boat as you. Like
Yes.
it's not just about business, but also sharing experiences that may, help you with your own experience. And that's what
Or help
I've
somebody else.
yeah, and that's what I've experienced. Like, and shout out to Noah, a network of outsourcing agencies
Hello,
who
Noah.
are a part of. Having this network is has been very helpful to my mental health, because now I mean, it's not just us who's experiencing, these challenges. And it's now you see a glimpse of, like, behind the curtains of what's happening with other companies, and they do, also go
That there
through
are
the
people in the
challenges.
same boat as you.
Exactly. And then if you're having any problems, you just, you rant, you vent out. And sometimes some of them have
And
already
people
gone through it.
understand. And
Yeah,
people
they understand.
understand. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not the same thing that you can do when you're talking to your mom or your dad. Let's just admit we do talk to our moms and dads, obviously, because we're Filipino. But it's more like, uh, you I mean, they do have like very precious advice. Pero sometimes what you don't need is, anak, itulog mo lang yan. Or ipag-pray mo kay God. Which are sound advice.
Yes.
But that's
Still
the
sound
advice
advice.
of somebody who can't add to the, who can't add anything to, to the conversation. And it's really nice to have somebody, like, I went through the exact same thing. This is what I did, and it might be an opportunity for you to glean something. And it's not really just, being able to have something to rant. It's also being able to stay abreast with, with with other, uh with trends, for
Yes.
example. you know it's being able to, stay abreast with news and trends, or like, should we do AI, or is that a fad? Is that something that we should pursue? Should we be worried? Should we start talking about which industries can affect our business? And it's not just you trying to discern the news. You're making collective, you're putting together
Mhm.
collective opinions and making informed judgments.
Yeah. Yes. I absolutely agree. And we've talked about, like, the importance of building your network, And we did say in the very start of this podcast about, going to events. And I mean, that's one tip. Like, when I go there, I need to be on, right? Some people
Yes.
would even have, like, their fake personality. When I say, like, how Beyonce
Game
has
face.
Sasha Fierce, right?
Yeah,
Like, they
it's
have
your
the
game face.
yeah, it's a game face. And that's actually one tip that you can actually do when you go into these events is kind of think of the persona that you want to be, and kind of have that while you go there, especially if you're most of the time, very shy.
If you're sadness and you need to be joy.
You need to be joy, inside out. But yeah, I didn't have that. But it's more for me, and in the most recent years, especially with the event that I went to, where I was just, solo traveling to Singapore, and it was my first event where I didn't know, like, I didn't know anyone, right? I think a huge part of it is the energy that you bring, because there's an energy, and you see it in how people actually move as well. It's like there's an energy of being open into talking to people. You
Yes.
smile at people. You're very much like, you're not just facing the wall. You're not just at the corner or anything. And then when you don't really want to talk to anyone, right? You also see those type of people where they're just drinking and that's it. Someone's trying to
But
talk to them, but
wallflower attracts other
yes,
wallflowers.
yes,
So
sometimes yes.
maybe there's value in being yourself. I understand you put your game face on because you need to be in a particular crowd. It's maybe it's not 100% not your personality, it's just your best foot forward, right? But my it's true. Like because to be honest, let's try to enumerate the reasons why you need to be there, especially if you're going to an event where it's new, right? I mean, there's a lot of events that's going to be like that. It's not always going to be an event where it's people that it's people that you
Yeah.
can commingle with. So seminars, possibly you'll be able to meet people that you're already are in the same space with. But what do you call those cons?
Conferences? What do you mean?
Conferences. I was thinking kasi ToyCon, and I was like, what con? Yeah, conferences wherein they invite, and this is the kind of thing that you really want to sort of do because it does multiple things. It allows you to network because they invite people who are, thought leaders in their industry, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
They're thought leaders in their own industry. And then and then so from there you know that it's going to bring together people who are possibly in the same industry as you,
Hmm.
or possible connections that you need to connect with, because sometimes you go to a conference, it's not mainly your line of work, like for example, if you're an advertising agency, you can still go to a construction conference, right, where there are builders and construction companies, but you come there as an advertising agency because you want to meet these businesses and say, hey, I'm an advertising agency, you're a business who needs to advertise, so sometimes you go to a conference not because they're your target market. That's what I wanted
Yes.
to say, that because maybe they're your target
Oh,
market,
that happens. Yeah.
maybe for us, one of the things that we probably should be targeting is to like entrepreneurs, businesses, business conferences, because our targets are businesses. Although does it intimidate me to no end? Yes, but have I tried it? Yes. Did it give me some so maybe some lasting trauma? Yes. But let's talk about that in a different manner. But uh so like I said, we generate these opportunities because it's easy to sign up and join an event,
Yeah.
even if it could be a free event. You could just simply walk in, where you can simply walk in, then there's a paid event wherein there's now more more at stake because you actually shelled out money, right? But when you get there, what's your real target, diba? Is it to learn from the thought leaders, and then
Actually
after
meet
joining the
them.
thought.
Mm.
Hmm?
or to actually meet
or to
the thought.
actually meet
Yeah.
them, like take a photo and then put it in your social media and say, met with blah blah, such an honor. Just everybody seems to be doing that. But yes, that if that's the goal, then make sure that you make that happen because
Hmm.
sometimes again the anxiety stops you. It freezes you. Pero, do I do it? I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't do it. But sometimes so actually I admire people when you see them. And then, as soon as an event is over, they actually, they walk up to the speaker and say, "Oh my God, I enjoyed your speech. Congratulations." And then they whip the phone out and take selfies. Just like, can we take a selfie? I
Because that's
admire them so
their,
much.
yeah, because that's their intention to actually, meet the
Yes.
speaker and
And
have a photo. And the photo sometimes is really just for social media. I see.
yes.
I
But
think.
you also realize that it does something to, even if it's just you and your presence, uh, it kind of changes your perception little by little. But let's say, like I said, that's your goal. Achieve it. Like, do it. Like, as soon as it's done, just because you can't let the what's a
You know
fear? You
what
can't.
is what's a good thing to think
Yeah.
about this is everyone is actually there to meet someone,
Yes. So it's
to
not
meet
just
people
you.
and
Oh
to
my God.
network,
Yes. Yeah. It's
right?
not just you.
So it's not going to be embarrassing if you want to meet or if you want to talk to other. They actually really do want to talk to you. That's the reason
Mhm.
that they're there, is
Yes.
to meet
And
people.
yeah, and I will admit that when I am feeling those times when I'm because sometimes it does help when you're with somebody or when you start meeting your first
Yeah.
person, you start meeting. When the group starts to form or when you walk to groups, like you just work up your courage, say hi, and then just I'm doing this, blah blah, or outsourcing agency, like how are you doing? It just changes your persona. Like I can do this. I did it once. The worst part is over, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yes, hi, I met you too, blah, 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 blah. Or
Sometimes that's a disadvantage for me. I
it's a
mean, personally,
disadvantage.
because I do have a tendency to stick with people that I know and then
Oh,
forget everyone else. So sometimes it is a disadvantage, and now it's an effort for me to kind of get out of my group and meet other people.
yeah.
So sometimes it's good if I don't know anyone, but if I do, I really try to make sure to spend time with them, but also
Yes.
meet other people.
Try to work the room. I mean, working the room is very important. I mean, you realize that when you do work the room, it also leaves an impression not just for the people that you meet, but also for the people around you.
Yeah,
If you make that much of an impression, they remember you like, I wasn't able to meet you, but actually I do recognize you from so and so. And it's really those series of events that gets people top of mind with other people who attend these same conferences. Now, does it matter whether when you find that person and you find that, oh wait, he's not exactly my target market? Doesn't matter. Make the
doesn't matter.
connection, take
Yeah,
their number, say hi, maybe let's schedule lunch together and talk possibilities. And I wish I really had that kind of gumption with other people who just go, yes, hi, of course, let's add ourselves on Facebook, let's schedule lunch. Like, does the lunch actually happen? Yes, sometimes it does, sometimes
sometimes
it,
it
it
does. Yeah.
doesn't. But for the ones that actually turn into lunches, they do turn into meaningful relationships. I mean, you realize that some of the friends that we've made in our business over the years were people that we have met over these
Yeah.
conferences. I will shout out to my really, really good friends, uh,
Pam,
Pam,
Genesis.
Marge,
Yeah, Marge.
Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the ones that we met through like, so those, no, wait. Pam, I met at the Pioneer
Pioneer VIP.
Pioneer
Um,
VIP. Marge
mm,
too is in one of the Pioneer events. Genesis, I remember meeting him way, way back pa with the freelancer fair
mm-hmm. I
events.
think I met
So
Genesis through you.
yeah, probably. But in one of those days, like they actually start mingling with each other, right? And then we met
Mm-hmm.
Ginger Arboleda
Yeah.
who led the who led the freelancer fair. Shout out to everybody. Can you like tag them here? Just say sayang minention na natin. But freelancer fair, and then she also did own Taksumo, so that was also very very helpful. Yeah, if you think about it, we never would have met those people if we didn't work up the courage to actually the courage to to put ourselves out there. Although what I love is that at some point I was also able to, and we were also able to not just be attendees but also be part of like
Speaker.
some
Yeah.
guest speakers. Yeah, and I do remember that there are also some people like I wish I inspired a lot of people with the little TED talks that we did. I remember that. Oh my
Um.
gosh, they seem like a lifetime ago, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speakership. It's more recent for me. A little bit more recent for me. The one thing that I do notice about events right now, because do you remember when we started saying, okay, we need to start attending these events, right? We need to start kind of growing our network, and we wanted to get a business card printed, and
Yes.
we had a so instead of business cards, because we're both very kind of, I guess, environmentally aware and also a
I
little
still
techy.
have it.
we
I still have
I
it.
do. So we got this tap to connect,
Yeah.
those business cards where you just tap, um and then it gives like a one pager about you to the person that you're meeting. The a few things that I've noticed, so I do use it during events. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, depending on what the phone is.
Yeah, because sometimes the phone doesn't have the NFC
Yeah,
tag.
yeah. And then some of them would give business cards, which is, yes, it's nice to have these business cards, but sometimes I feel like
You do
if
the the,
you
the
don't,
thing.
yeah, if you don't, yeah, the two hands thing, but if you don't make that big of an impression, sometimes you're just a collector of business cards. But if
Yes.
for some that don't have, we connect directly through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
If not Facebook,
And
I
sometimes it's more
actually don't
important you
use.
realize. Oh, sorry. Go.
No, I don't. Excuse me. I don't typically actually connect through Facebook, but through LinkedIn, and that's where our conversations get started, because these are events for business.
Yes. And it's actually more important to share more, uh, to connect in a business sense. But I think we're sort of past the point of where conferences where they're in your level. I wish it was more along the lines now. I would if I were to attend a conference now, I wish it was something that would actually do something so much more for your business, and that sometimes that scares me. I admit, because there are some of those events where you know I mean I think some of those events were just out of our radar for a while, but because some conferences are like, oh, only for 40,000 pesos, and I was like, 40,000 free entry nga, pinag-iisipan ko pa. But some of them, like, you must really get something out of those events if you're
Hmm.
going to pay that much to secure a spot, you know? Or
No,
am I getting it wrong? Are there conferences that cost that much?
yeah, there are.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah,
especially in
I'm not
the
getting it wrong.
conferences. Sometimes, well, so that depends. If we're talking about conferences that are outside of the country, like outside of the Philippines, then definitely it costs more than that. Especially those
Yes.
2 day conferences, they cost a lot more.
Yes. Yes.
And you're there to, well, want most of the time to learn, right? But I do
Yes.
notice some people who, there's a speaker up front, but they're actually outside, like where the food is, and trying to mingle with everyone, because that's the
Because
whole point of why they're there.
yes, you're talking to the people who are like, the conference is not my target market. The people attending the conference
Yeah.
is my target market. But I will just make sure that we round them out. You see, apart from the conferences, we talk about the groups and the meetups. There are actual networking groups for businesses
Yes.
too. super helpful. Sometimes it's a little bit tiring to be in that kind of group, but if your business relies on connections, and that's something that you definitely have to consider. Because, and I will share, because since we already did Noah, which is, I guess, a group of, so this is a group, and we through meetups, and we've strengthened bonds and relationships. But like a business network, yeah, I will, because one of our businesses is aligned with that. So shout out to BNI.
Oh yeah,
And I've met
BNI.
some of the people, because my partner,
Mm-mm.
um uh
It's
Jim,
part of
is part
BNI.
of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and through the salon, and I think through the studio. What am I doing? What are all of these businesses? But yes,
That's
uh
the new way of networking,
it's a new
like
way of networking,
doing online.
and I
But
have
they
seen the
get the
power
good
of
thing
these
about,
groups.
yeah,
Yeah.
BNI. The
Oh my
good
god,
thing
you
about
have
them
you
is
have seen you
they
have
did.
seen
Yeah, I've attended
Yeah, yeah.
twice. The good thing about them is they do have an agreement of what day they're meeting and at what time, and that kind
Yes.
of starts
Yes. And
things
then you
right away.
bring your business, and everybody is expected to highlight their business.
Yes.
And that's the good thing about it, because so what do you do? What is your business? And the intention is like, so you're like, for example, for Jim, I'm a salon. It's like, oh my gosh, so we can, of course, bring our business to you, because that's the intention. How do we lift each other up as businesses? And then it also functions as it's functionally a space as well to hold events. So they were like, yes, let's hold some of our events in the salon. It's really good, because Jim, now an intern, when he needed new stuff, there's a supplier for that. When he needed air
Mhm.
conditioning repair, there's a supplier for that, all within their group. So they're really benefiting from each other, and I admire that.
I have a question for you, and I know I feel like sometimes in our podcast I feel like an interviewer,
Yeah.
but I do have a question for you. Like, how, if you had one tip for people for people to make the most out of an event to build their network, what would it be?
Go all in. I feel like my answers are going to be like those short, unexpected ones, but you have to really go all in. It's more like, my analogy is, go one, go all. When in for a penny, in for a pound. There you go. It's because my analogy for it is, like when you have people who are like shy, and they don't like being called on stage to sing, for example, but sometimes they have to, like, uh that your friends sort of put you up to it,
Hmm.
and then you go, like in a comedy club, for example, like, oh, who's volunteering to sing? Oh, we have a volunteer, and they call your name.
Yeah.
There's only two ways to react to it: is make a fool of yourself, or make a fool of yourself. Either way, it's gonna happen, right? So you can be the KJ who says, no, 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 no. Oh, sorry, that's three ways. No, 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 and like really dig your heels in and said no, no, and then you become like, oh, never mind, let's move on, and then you're just a memory, right? The second thing is, you do go up, and you do a half-assed job of whatever it is. Like, we're not even talking about singing skills. You just do the, but oh, I'm gonna sing. So, you understand where I'm going with this, right? Like, the
Yes.
people who, like,
Hmm.
they do go up, but then again, like, sorry
They really
guys,
don't.
I
Yeah.
don't know. They do that. And then some people, and then, like I said, my admiration exponentially grows, because there are those who actually know how to sing, and they do a good job of it. But there are those who
Don't know how to
just,
sing,
they
but
don't know
just
how to
bat
sing,
it
but they
out.
will just do it, because that's what the assignment is. That's the assignment, and I understood the assignment. So even though my voice is crap, I'm gonna do it anyway, because that's what you asked me to do. I understand. And sometimes that's some of the best things I've ever seen, because, like, when he gets down and he says like, oh my gosh, wish you guys didn't do that. Like, oh my god, I wish you guys didn't do that. But and it's true, he didn't want to, but that's one way to approach a situation, right? And it's kind of like the same thing after all that. It's kind of like the same thing in your for your question to me. Is like you decided to go there. It's not the time to chicken out. You had days to prepare. You bought the outfit. You put on the perfume. You paid for the ticket and you walked in, and all of a sudden you feel like you're out of your depth, right? It could happen. But when you do that, just remember, why, what am I here for? What am I trying to do? Did I bring a pack of business cards that I want to give out for for people to know my halo halo business? 'Di ba? Or am I here to give out my services? Am I here to give out my services, graphic artist business, and say, because this is a conference of again, let's just say construction people. Maybe they
Mm-hmm.
have really website, so I want to give out my card. You have to swallow it and say, here, business card, website. I understand. Oh wow, I love your suit. Here, business card. I do websites. Maybe you're interested. It doesn't matter if maybe three people will just say, oh no, thank you, no, thank you. Uh, you talk to 100 people. If 10 people get your business
Business card.
cards,
Yeah.
that's already a win. Actually, maybe 100 people, maybe 50 people will get your business cards, right? And then 30 people will actually take the time to understand and say, and maybe from there you get 5 people who actually call you. That's a win. That's a win, and that's a numbers game. So, like I said, if you're your own business, let's go back to that. I wish I could credit that reel now. That your actual title is salesman. You're there to sell
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Now, if you're there to represent your company, even more, because you're actually paid to represent your company. So you do that and talk to people and say, like, this is what our company does. Blah blah. I want to connect. I'm sales, and eventually you have like groups of people who actually do sales, because there's groups like that exist too, right? But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's my advice. When you do find yourself in a networking situation, understand the assignment and go all in.
I think my one tip is just be curious.
That is
Like
true.
apart from the being in that energy of being open, just be curious. Like they are there to talk to people. And the best way
Yes.
to get people talking is to ask questions. And
Yes.
sometimes just through questions you find out what your common thread is. And
Yeah.
then you find out, okay, you know this same person, right? And then now you have every single thing to talk about. So just be
Until
curious.
you find something in common and then use that to connect. Yeah, that is actually a very
Yes.
good tip.
Yeah,
But
just
yes,
be curious.
yes. I wonder if my because I feel like yours had so much more weight. If my tip had any value at all,
Oh yeah, it did. I
just
think I was no, I think sometimes we try to kind of self sabotage where we're kind of holding ourselves back in these events, and because maybe I'm not this type of person, like the imposter syndrome does creep up
yeah.
sometimes, and it's hard to just to talk to people and say this is me, right? Like things like
Yeah.
that. And
I
when you
do
said go
this,
all
by
in,
the
yeah,
way.
yeah, it's we're not that big. Like sometimes that's still, I still utter those words like we're not that big, but really, right? And when you say, even you said that, like
It's not
just
that
go all
big.
in, whether if you make a
Yeah.
fool you make a fool out of yourself. I'm not gonna pick that up, but whether you make a fool out of yourself or at least you went
You did
all
it.
in.
Yes.
Yeah, you did
I
it.
want
Yeah.
to be able to I want you to be able to say, if this has happened to you before and you went home, and you're like, I didn't even get to give out a single business card, or I didn't even get to shake a single hand, or you come home regretting that I didn't even get to do that. Use that to fuel the next time. It's not
The next,
for you to
yes.
say, yeah, it's not for you to give up going to events altogether. Just remember, your
Mm-hmm.
business depends on you.
Yes.
You
I mean,
pick
even
up
then,
pick,
if you don't get to meet them during the event, then connect through LinkedIn,
to connect through
and
LinkedIn,
then use the
yes,
event.
and try
Yeah,
to
use the
establish,
event to
yeah.
say,
Or maybe that's your goal the entire time. Just like, hi, sorry, I'm not big on conversations, but please, I'm interested to connect. Here we could do the Japanese business card thing.
the virtual.
Yeah, maybe we could connect sometime over LinkedIn and share, because maybe it's not maybe your thing is not talking, but if you're good at because I actually do text better than I talk. So,
I don't
uh,
agree with that, but okay.
no, really, you
I don't
should.
agree with that, but okay. But maybe you talk a lot more
I
with me.
will,
But
I will, I will, I
anyway,
will tell you something
we're
offline.
digressing.
I
We're
will tell you.
digressing.
Yeah, you're digressing. But yes, hopefully that helps, because what will the network do for you? Again, leads, contacts, and and opportunities are something that your basic, essentially your business. I mean, we all understand uh what what it hinges on, like the business growth itself, right? For me, what we wanted to overcome really is just telling you how it happened for us, how it helped us
Yeah.
grow our network. And again, we haven't really done any direct business with some of the people that we've worked with, but together with them, we grew it. We were able to glean information, knowledge,
Yes.
mentorship, experiences, and that was beneficial to our business as well. Maybe at some point we will be doing business with each other, right? But
Or
you know
partnering up. Yeah.
but the point is, you establish that connection, and that as long as that connection exists, the possibilities are there.
Well said. Very well
Thank
said.
you. So in conclusion, I guess it's a good time to start concluding this. uh
Yes.
if you've never considered it as part of the possibilities for you to grow your network, yes, networking events, joining groups, meetups, Facebook
Mastermind.
groups,
Yeah.
mastermind
Facebook.
classes are is actually ways for you as a starting business owner, as a middling business owner, in general, at any stage of your business. It's a way for you to keep growing your business. So that's definitely something for you to pursue and grow and keep as part of your arsenal of business development.
Again, very well said. But I think that,
But
that
yes,
that does wrap up today's episode of Outsourcing and More. And we do hope you enjoyed it. We do hope that you got some tips from us. These are, from our experience from being a wallflower, being someone with, less social battery. Well, we still have, social battery, but it's
yeah, my social
probably
battery is
longer
iPhone
now.
6.
Yeah. Previously, but now it's longer. But anyway, if you did so if you have not, please hit the subscribe button. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout, and YouTube.
Yes.
Don't forget to leave a rating and a review. And if you have any comments, questions, anything at all, you can also email us at Francis. What's
OAM
your
at
email?
virtuasolutionsos.com. Once again, our email is OAM at virtuasolutionsos.com. And once again, thank you so much for taking the time to listen. We want to say these are ramblings, but we do thank you for taking the time to listen to our little tips, our little tricks, our little advice, our little anecdotes and stories in life. This has been Outsourcing and More. My name is Francis.
My name is Penny.
And this is
See
us
you in the next
saying, see you
episode.
next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Subscribe to our podcast.
We also have a YouTube channel where you can see the faces behind the voices.
You can also find Virtual Solutions on Facebook and LinkedIn.
And if you've got a topic you've been wanting to learn about, let us know by sending us an email at
OAM at virtuasolutionsos.com. Again, it's OAM at virtuasolutionsos.com.
see you in the next episode.
Goodbye.
Bye.